impact on just one day less rest and throw him out there. I think a lot of that will be discussed internally, but it's whoever time it is in the rotation, I think that's you go out there. And the beauty of it is, if it's Cole, if it's Liriano, you're in good hands either way. I have full confidence in both of those guys. So if it's Garrett Cole, I wouldn't be surprised at all. And he's got one game experience from last season, and he is a bull on the mound. So we really would expect him to go out there and just give a quality start and give a team a chance to compete. So I really don't worry about that. I don't think there's going to be any issue. It's nice to have two options.
As far as a game one starter, Kevin, I think I give the ball to Francisco Liriano. Garrett Cole is making a case here, but I think, that slider, when it's on, and more times than not recently, it has been on for Liriano. It's about as devastating as you possibly can get. And with the right-handed hitters that you'd have to neutralize, considering you'd be playing the Giants, whether it be at PNC Park or at AT&T. Let's just say the season was over today, and the Pirates, their current scenario, we're headed to the postseason. They go to AT&T. I'd throw Liriano out there. Again, he's been too good lately not to overlook that, and that takes into consideration, at least from my perspective, Kevin, what Cole has done of late, and you can't exactly flush away that 7 innings that he just threw against the Boston Red Sox. So for me, my vote is Liriano.
Yeah, I hear you. If it's, as it stands, if both guys were on their day and they felt good, and you take all of that out of the equation, I too agree. If you got to go with one, you have to pick one. I think Liriano has earned the right, but Cole's last start gives me that much more confidence. Not that I didn't have it before, but he was better, and just ramped it up a little, another notch really. And then thinking if he springboards off that, things could be very good. But again, two very nice quality options. But push comes to shove, you got to give it to Frankie. I agree.
Yeah, he's basically given up 3 earned runs in his last 5 outings, Liriano. 33 innings of work in his last 5 outings. I mean, that's just hard to overlook. And especially, you've got Posey that you have to worry about, Michael Morse in that lineup. Panda. You can go ahead and neutralize those right-handed hitters, I think, in a big way with that slider. So my vote definitely is for Francisco Liriano. 412-928-9370. That's 412-928-9370. Pirates a 1-0 winner over the Milwaukee Brewers. Tony in Greenfield. Tony, you're on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Hello, guys. What a great feeling to be a Pirates fan. These guys, they did a great job last year. This is the most unselfish team I've seen in a lot of years. These guys are playing as a team. There's no I in team. So I don't know what's up with my buddy Pedro, because I was a Pedro fan, but guys, tell me this hasn't been enjoyable. We might get 90 games. We might get 5 out of 7. How many we got left? 7?
7 left, yep. 4 in Atlanta and then 3 in Cincy.
We get 5 with 99? What a great year. Hey, guys, you guys did a great job. We're going to be there. All right, guys, thanks.
All right, appreciate that, Tony. And, Kevin, optimism is running high. The Pirates have beaten some bad teams, but, today they've shown that they're able to go ahead and win all different types of games. The slugfests with the great offense, now 13-6 here in the month of September. I like the way that the team can play a number of different games. They can play other teams' games if it really comes down to that. And you know what? It came down to it the last 2 games here. They were able to go pitch for pitch for the most part with Garza, with Peralta, Jeff Locke. And this is the back third of the Pirates rotation against Giovanni Gallardo. The 1 and 2 didn't even throw in this series, and that was a big concern coming into it. And it's amazing what the back end of the rotation for the Pirates did against the front end of the rotation of what we thought for most of the year was the NL Central champions, stamped right in there, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. You couldn't ask for anything more. They went toe-to-toe, and it was just a massive pitching duel the entire weekend. And it's, these games, they all feel good to win. But, these little close ones, it could be neck and neck. To walk away winning these types of games right now is definitely, it has to be a good feeling for those guys, because, this is playoff atmosphere. Games are like this. And sometimes, you lose them when you had them, when you had the opportunities. And the Pirates had plenty of opportunities this series, weren't able to get the big hit against very good pitching. We're able to pull it off today. So this is just another game that they can draw back on and hopefully, learn from the experiences of it and carry it into, big postseason games, because the odds are it'll be something very similar to what we've seen all weekend.
412-928-9370. That's 412-928-9370. And Tony in Greenfield brings up an interesting point, Kevin. I mean, I don't know if I believe that this team had really any shot at 90, and I think it's going to be difficult. I mean, if you go 4-3 on the 7-game road trip here, Atlanta and Cincinnati, you're an 89-win team. But I don't think 5 of 7 is really all that out of the question. And you could be a 90-win team, just 4 off your pace. And the Pirates were well off of that really going into the month of August, and they have turned it on in a big way. But I think an outside shot at 90 victories, which, hey, I never thought that was possible. I don't think at any point this year, even at the start of it.
Oh, man, I know. You never would have guessed that the way this season started. I mean, if you were a betting man, you would have lost a lot of money, and that's just a testament to this ball club. I mean, it's no joke. I mean, they practice what they preach, and nothing would surprise me. 90, that would be very hard to do, but they go out there and get game 1 tomorrow in Atlanta and just keep this train a-rolling. I think it's absolutely possible. I mean, 89, 90, whatever, but 90 certainly has a better ring to it, especially way we were talking and really fielding phone calls in late April. I mean, who would have thought this would be going on?
Yeah, this after a 10-18 start. Incredible. Liriano goes tomorrow against Aaron Harang. Harang's 11-11, a 368 earned run average. Then it's Cole against Alex Wood, the left-hander, an 11-win pitcher in his own right, a 2.78 ERA. Then Lott goes up against Julio Teheran. Braves haven't announced their starter for Thursday. Edinson Volquez will throw in the final game of that. And Liriano is on pace to pitch in that Cincinnati series. So if you go ahead and look ahead to what is going on in Cincinnati, it would be, if everything stays true here, it would be Vance Worley going in game 1 Friday at the Cincinnati Reds, and then game 2 against the Reds, Liriano, and then Cole in game 3. You could go ahead and bring Liriano back essentially on 3 days rest. He would have, when you're looking at it in days, because October 1 is the wild card game, and that Saturday game, I believe, would be a full 5 days rest if everything turns out the way it should, looking ahead to October. So that's Wednesday. So, yeah, that would be basically a full 3 days. So, I don't know, maybe they'll mess with the rotation here a little bit. They could, depending on what is clinched, what is not clinched, as they did the final game of last year, use a Brandon Compton to go ahead and fill in if it's otherwise meaningless games and the seedings are already set. Or do you just go ahead and maybe, I don't know, you could have moved Liriano up today, and then he would have been on pace a little bit better to throw game 1 in Cincinnati and then go ahead and go that Wednesday in the wild card game. So I don't think it's all that difficult to bring a guy back on 3 days rest, especially this time of year. Liriano, I think, did it in the NLDS. If memory serves, it was 3 days for Liriano. Didn't pitch all that poorly against the Cardinals. 412-928-9370. That's 412-928-9370. Quinn in Pittsburgh, after a 1-0 loss and an incredible outing by Vance Worley of 8 shutout innings, he joins us on The Fan.
Hey, guys. I was lucky enough to be there today, and I was just wondering if the Pirates get past the one-game playoff, who you think they will have in their starting rotation?
Well, I think they'll roll with the current 5. I mean, Cole would go game 1. He basically takes the place, Kevin, I think, of A.J. Burnett, assuming that you throw Liriano in that first game. And I think they'll ride with what they have right now. I don't think Charlie Morton is going to be in the picture. The Pirates really haven't announced it, but for all intents and purposes, he's looking to 2015.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's pretty clear right now. I mean, if anything, you don't wish that upon Charlie, but the odds are he's out of the equation, so therefore makes the decision a little simpler. And obviously that performance today by Vance Worley gives everybody that much more confidence in the guys you're looking at. Absolutely. Why would you go anywhere else? They have been outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, would you, go with perhaps a 4-man, Quinn? Is that what you're possibly thinking?
I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I don't think Charlie Morton's going to be a factor, but, I mean, you're definitely going to have, I think, your 1-2-3 punch of, Liriano, Cole, and Volquez. And, Kevin, I think it's interesting, if a series is tied, I don't know, 2 games apiece, in that decisive game, I think you want to go ahead and bring somebody back. Maybe that's Cole in game 5, which he would be on on point to do if he's starting game one. Let me ask you this: if there's a game 4, would you? Let's fast forward to a 7-game series. I know we're getting way ahead of ourselves here, and I mean it's really silly to do so because you're going on the road for a wild card game. But if you would have a game 4 and you needed a 4th pitcher in a best of 7, would you throw basically Locke or Worley? I mean, who has built up more equity? But when we look at it, because you're essentially going to go down to a 4-man rotation, I think, in a best of 7, and pitch 2 guys twice if it really does come down to that. So that means essentially, your 5-man is not going to beat you twice so much. So would you go Locke or Worley in that case?
That's a tough one. I mean, and you have to certainly have to factor in matchups. And but that one start that jumps out is what the Vandal did out in San Francisco. So. Man, I tell you what, I right now I'm leaning towards the Vandal. I think I would. First off, I hate checking out minutes right now. I think, yeah, absolutely. When it comes down to that, you have to go